guys, this is Stephanie and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Today I'm coming to you with a bit of an update for my TBR readathon. This is something that is being hosted by Beautiful Pages and I will link her information down below. So at the beginning of this year, I wanted to do 3 readathons, and about 4 weeks ago, I realized it was May and I haven't done a single one. So I thought, I gotta get on that. So I decided to participate in Beautiful Pages readathon. It is an 8-week readathon, which is my idea of a readathon. She did have 9 prompts to help you with this, and the whole point is to read books off your TBR shelf. Now, I will admit, I'm not strictly reading books off of my TBR shelf. Now, I did decide that if they are books that are on like my TBR shelf on Goodreads, I was gonna count that as well, because I do get books from my library, real books and audiobooks, and sometimes when it comes in, you just need to read it when it's in. Like, I don't want to have to wait another 4 months to read Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng, because that's how long I have been on the waiting list. So I'm just going to read it despite the fact I don't own it on my TBR. It is on my Goodreads TBR. So I'm going to fudge with that a little bit, but I'm going to update you guys with my current reads. So out of the 9 prompts, I have completed 4 of them, which I'm pretty pleased about. First one was the first prompt, read a book series you're in the middle of, and I chose Golden Son. I read the second book in the series. I actually really want to go on to the third one, but I'm trying to actually stick to this TBR and like, yeah, it's so I put it off a little bit, but a lot happens in Golden Son, so I feel like I'm okay with that, because there's just a lot to process, honestly, and think about and be like, what happened? That's kind of how I felt. And I really did like the book, but it's the second book in a series, so you can't talk a ton about it. But you can always look at my May wrap-up, which posted last week, and you can check out my thoughts on Golden Son during that. But I did like it, and I am excited to continue on with the series. The next prompt I got done was number 2. Read a book that you have owned for a while, and for this one, I went with City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. And this one I've owned for a while, and it took me like a year and a half to get through it, because it's just nothing happens in this book. I didn't like it that much, and I am like, okay, Steph, read the 6th one, and then I've been told the other books are all great. I'm hoping. I do imagine with a little less Jace and a little less Clary, I'd probably enjoy these books a little bit more. So that is the hope and that is the dream. But I did it, and it only took me 18 months. Yep. The next prompt I finished was number 5. Read a long book, 500 pages or so. And I completed Wool by Hugh Howey, and this is over 500 pages. It's like 511 pages, so it qualifies. I read this last month and I did like this book. It's definitely a kind of book that like I had to digest it for a few days to see what I was really thinking about it. Like I was like, I think I like this. I don't know, I have to think about this. Wool is a dystopian book where basically all society is living in this silo that's like 100 stories deep into the ground, and the first floor is like at surface level, so you can look out and see like sand dunes and stuff like that out the only windows in the whole place. Everything else is underground. So it's this dystopian world. It's definitely an adult book, like not like dirty adult book, but like it's not fast paced like a YA book would be. And our characters are very much facing adult decisions as well. And they are adult age, which I appreciate. I always hate it when it's like a YA book and it's like, this 16-year-old's making life decisions. I'm like, I just gotta tell you, I have a niece who's 16, and though she is wonderful, she would not have made that decision. So I don't know. Like Six of Crows, those were not 16, 17-year-old kids. That's not a thing. But these were actual adults making actual adult decisions, and I liked it. I did like this. I will continue on with this book. I'm not sure when I'll go on with the series, but it'll happen. And the last one I completed was number 9, read 12 books. I did not read 12 books. But if I complete all the other prompts and then I read 4 more books, that would be 12 books. It works. So I actually did read a book off my physical TBR, which was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And I didn't like this book that much. Like, it was just okay. It was very meh. I'm not big on fae stories, to be honest. Like, I just feel like they're so not done right that I'm like, I don't know about that. I found it predictable. I found the characters kind of flat. I found the plot just okay, and the end twist, I was like, well, you you told us what was going to happen like halfway through the book, and then it happened. So what's the twist again? So I didn't love it, but it does count as a book off my TBR shelf that I read. And the other 3 books that I read were all through my library, so I do not own them, but they were Bear Town by Fredrik Backman. I did like this book. It deals with some like tough issues, and I'm wondering if that's what this author kind of writes. I'm guessing, I don't really know. Like, it was like a slice of life, like this simple life and this simple thing kind of thing, and then I don't know. It was good. I did have to, again, digest it for a few days. Maybe that's just me, but I did like it. I will read the next one. It actually like just came out too. But I'm going to talk about that in my wrap up at the end of June. And I'm going to spoil it just so everybody knows. I'll warn you again, but I cannot talk about that book without spoiling. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The next book I read was Burial Rites. And I'm forgetting the author's name, but I'll put it up here. And this is one that I did a buddy read with, and so it kind of just lined up, like it was on my list, it was on her list, so we did a buddy read together for Hardback Haven, and it was really slow, so I actually ended up taking my copy back to the library and getting it on Audible to listen to it, because it was pretty slow. I liked the idea of the storyline, the last woman executed in Iceland, but I feel like from the beginning of the book, you know how it's going to end, but there's a part of you, it's like, oh, I hope it doesn't end that way, but then it's also based on fact, so it does. It's kind of weird, but I did like this. I liked the writing. I thought the writing was quite beautiful. I just felt like it was really slow. I'm not sure what the huge hype was about. Like I said, it's a good book, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, the best book in the world. I was like, it's good. Will I read it again? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. And then the 4th book I read was Children of Blood and Bone, and I liked this one. I actually just finished it like yesterday, the day before. I just finished it recently, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a series just based on how they ended it. And I really like this. I think she's a debut author. I'm not certain about that, but I think she is. But I did like this book. It is a YA book, so it's pretty fast paced. There's lots of action. I didn't love the romance in the book. It was a little too YA, but the vast majority of the book I did like. I'll read the next one. And I know that I'm just like not talking about these books in like completion, but I will do that in my wrap up. This is just to catch you guys up on where I am with my readathon, and hopefully you can let me know where you are with your readathon. So I have 5 prompts left, and I have 4 weeks to do these 5 books. So I'm hoping that I can get these read, and I'm hoping I won't have to change them out, and I might have to change them out. So the first prompt I need to fill is number 3, read a book that you recently got. So originally I was going to be reading A Sudden Appearance of Hope, because I'd gotten that for my last book haul, but then I unboxed my last box, and I have 3. I'm probably not going to read all 3. I'm probably just going to read one of the 3, but we'll have to see. The first one I had in mind is The Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Iturbi. Oh boy, I didn't say that one right. Not only is this book beautiful, but I just think it sounds like, even the title just makes it sound interesting. I'm like, ooh, a librarian in Auschwitz. That's not something you think about. And so I do want to read this one. I don't really know much about it, to be honest, but I'm hoping to get this one completed in the next 4 weeks. I'm not sure if I will or not. I'm trying to kind of gauge my mood. I'm pretty sure this is based on a true story to some degree. So I really have to be in the right kind of mood to like a historical fiction I know is going to be sad. I don't think I'm in that mood. We'll have to see. But I also grabbed The Green Glass Sea by Ellen Klaggs. And this one, I don't really know exactly what it's about. I think it's like a mystery of sorts. And then I know there's a second one too in the series. And honestly, I picked it because I do want to read it. It did come in my last haul, and it's only like 300 pages. And I was like, the Auschwitz one is like 450, so I might do better to read a smaller book. And then my absolute backup, in case I can't get either of those read because I'm too busy or blah, I am going to be reading Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too, a book by Jomini Sun. It's kind of a graphic novel-y book. And it's supposed to be kind of weird, but I'm fairly certain that I could get this read within the bounds of the readathon. So it is my backup. If you see this on my wrap-up for this readathon, you're going to be like, so she was busy, okay. The next prompt I need to complete is number 4, read a short book. And for this one, I chose Girl of Fire and Thorns, 3 Short Stories by Rae Carson. And this is one, honestly, I just want to finish off the series. I read the 3 books, and this is just 3 short stories that goes with it. So I kind of want to finish it, and I think it is if not the shortest, one of the shortest books on my TBR shelf. Number 6 is read a book that you are excited about. And I did choose A Demon King by Cinda Williams-Chima. This is a book that I've been meaning to read literally for a year. I got it like a year ago. Everybody says it's great. It's just some high fantasy, great writing. And I'm like, yes, that sounds so good. But I never pick it up and I'm not really sure why. I just feel like I always have other things more urgently to read. So I do want to read this. However, I did just get a book from my library and I'm going to try and get the name right. The Guernsey Literacy Potato Peel Pie Society, something like that. And it's upstairs and I'm like, I kind of want to read that one because I just got it. So I'm excited to read it. So that might be the next one on the list instead of this one. You guys see how bad I am at TBRs? This is why I don't do TBRs. I do seasonal ones, but I don't do month ones because all I think is I look at it and I'm like, if I pick 20 books for a season, I can probably read half of those. I feel comfortable with that. But when it's like, pick 12 books, read over the next 8 weeks, I can't make up my mind, you guys. I'm the worst at this. The next is number 7, read a book out of your comfort zone. And for this, I went ahead and went with Big Little Lies by Lane Moriarty. And this one is, I would say it's not too far out of my comfort zone. I wouldn't actually put a book that's outside of my comfort zone on my TBR here or even my Goodreads one. So I'm kind of like, okay, but it's a little out of my comfort zone, a little. I haven't started this one yet. I've looked at it actually, and I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, just tear the Band-Aid off. Just read it. And the other part of me is like, what if I don't like it? I feel like I read so many books last month I didn't like. I'm being like stupid picky about books right now because I'm like, I want to love everything I read. So far, it's been a good month. I've had 2 very good books, so that's pretty good. And the last prompt I need to complete is number 8, read a book with a beautiful cover. And oddly enough, the book is upstairs and I'm far too lazy to get it, but I have the cover right here. I don't usually read books with the covers on. I always take them off, so lucky me, the cover's down here. This is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. And I started this, gosh, like 2 weeks ago because I was just like, I'm so in the mood to read this. And then I have been so busy. I haven't had time to really finish. I think I got through the introduction and I got like 2 chapters in, 1 chapter. Like I'm not very far in at all. And I do love it. Like I'm really liking it. Just I'm excited to get through it. And then I want to watch the movie and then I might discuss the difference between the movie and the book. I love that movie. I remember watching it as a kid and I loved it then and I love it now. So this is my beautiful cover book. I'm hoping to not change this, but again, me with a TBR, it's just not gonna end well. So that is it. Those are the 9 prompts. This is where I'm sitting with it. I have 4 of the 5 done halfway through, which means that I've got to pick up the slack for the second half of this readathon. However, one of those prompts was to read 4 books and I did complete that one. So that I'm pretty happy about. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know where you are in the readathon. I know a couple of you guys were like, I'm not gonna be able to do all the prompts. That's fine. And some of you have said, I'm just going to do 1 or 2, or I'm just going to read 1 or 2 books. And I think that's great. Just participate where you can. When a readathon gets stressful, it's no longer fun and nobody wants to do that. So let me know down below where you're sitting with this, or maybe what a few of the books you've read for the readathon are. I am glad you guys are going on this journey with me. I am enjoying this readathon. I think because it is 8 weeks. So when I have a busy weekend or a busy week, or I just don't feel like reading, it's not a big deal. There's no pressure that says, oh my gosh, you have to read. You only have 3 days to read. It's more like, yeah, I have to read, but I'm going to watch Desperate Housewives because, I like doing that too. So go ahead and go ahead and subscribe, go ahead and leave your comment, go ahead and share, go ahead and do something that might make you happy today because, hey, you deserve that, don't you? And that is all I have. You can find me here Tuesdays and Fridays, so plan on seeing me then. Goodbye.